Thank you very much for coming on to today's podcast here at Crema Grind. It's a great privilege for me to have Professor Paulo on. He's a fantastic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. He's set up his own flow system, our school, and thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you, Natalia, for inviting me. Good new experience. Look forward to
Yeah,
a good chat and
yeah.
talk about whatever comes to our mind. Jiu-jitsu, coffee,
Yeah,
lifestyle.
that's something I stuffed up on. I should have bought the coffee and set up and
No good.
back that up. But I guess how did I've only recently just started jiu-jitsu from yourself and your school and your cool instructors recently, and I've noticed that it is the certain stresses that you go through is the initial test. So they're getting comfortable and being uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. I think jiu-jitsu is a tough sport. I'll be honest. Give you a reason to quit. Pretty much every day you step in there, it's like you're gonna get hurt on your ego, your body, feel bruised. But I think it's the art of solving problems. You're gonna start like you solve something, your opponent throws something else, then you solve that a little bit, more stuff coming. So it's pretty fun, pretty excited.
Yeah, it's and then just to I guess, how did the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu start? I understand it came from not to Japan, and then it came to Brazil.
Japan, and then Ilya Gracie and Carson Gracie, like they kind of like adapted a little bit.
Yeah,
the Japanese style of jiu-jitsu, and then create the Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Especially Helio is like such a tiny little man, like, and he found out like improve your leverages and sort of stuff, make a bit even for a little guy if they get in trouble, face a bigger opponent. So
yeah,
I think everything starts from there, pretty much.
Yeah. And so how long did it, so whereabouts did the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu start? So was it in Rio?
Yeah, I think more common Rio. It's a bit hard because there's a few different lineages in Brazil. There's some really good masters north, south, like north of Brazil, northeast of Brazil, also in the south. So Brazil is a huge place. But I would say like the most known place from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is Rio.
Yeah.
Grace family, they're pretty much based there.
Yeah.
So I would say Rio was a step ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long did that take before, were there like rivalries like between, I guess, because you got to have different grappling styles, and then
yeah, exactly. I think back in the days in Rio, it was a big rivalry between they call luta livre, like the freestyle like wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. So it was like very intense. I think that was like even generations, like a couple generations before mine. Yeah, there's like fights on the street and all this type of trouble.
Yeah.
And so then they finally decide to make that like, okay, if we're fighting for no reason, let's fight for at least a flag. So let's see what's better, jiu-jitsu or luta livre.
Yeah.
And then I think, for our luck, all the jiu-jitsu guys, I think that's when they start to realize they have to get organized and not be rival against each other. Like kind of, hey, this time is us against them. So we need to start work together. And then I think the luta livre people, the guys were not organized as the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And
then, end up, thanks God, jiu-jitsu end up like becoming this massive martial art now.
Yeah.
That's a big impact. That rivalry helps so much on that.
Yeah, and with that rivalry, I guess you had the Gracie family. Then they, I guess, formalized it, and then the infiltrate. I guess that then went overseas, and then you had Machado.
Yeah, I think was a big. They did an amazing job, to be honest. Like, it's crazy how far jiu-jitsu is today, and then
massive.
I think they were like grinding, going to different places and showing this different grappling, different way of fight. And then I think that was when UFC or the MMA was sort of great.
Yeah.
Like clashing different martial art styles.
Yeah, that was a huge one, really. That sort of catapulted onto a whole new area because it started, I guess there were challenges between martial arts styles. And then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, then, I can't remember the name, they decided to create the UFC.
The Ultimate Fighter
Championship.
Yeah.
And that was very violent at the start, I guess, and people were shocked.
Completely violent. Yeah, it was like gladiators.
Yeah, no holds barred. And it wasn't like everyone sort of assumed that it would be like a Bruce Lee movie, whereas nicely choreographed as like a dance, it would look good, but it was completely different. And then all of a sudden you had this 6 foot Brazilian athletic skinny guy just putting people down and choking them and putting them in submissions that no one had quite seen, although judo has submission, but it was different to that.
Yeah, I think, the difference, we do have submissions in judo, but I think jiu-jitsu is much more effective. Like, looking forward for that. And to be honest, I think that's how I got hooked up in jiu-jitsu. And so, Royce Grace, like the skin man, walking in that cage, wearing gi, I guess, like those big mans and like doing stuff that was blowing everybody else's mind. Like, what was that? And I don't know, sort of like if you like a little bit of violence, but not like it was a weird thing to watch the UFC back in that time. Like,
it was bare knuckle and
bad hands and like
there was no
rules,
no weight limits.
Nah, so it was like pretty much gladiator era. Like you jump there to survive. Like that was. But at the same time, attracting you, sort of like you want to know like what the little guy is doing, and
and it was sort of definitely like style versus style, and that always seemed to produce the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was very effective.
Yeah, and then if you look right now, like back in the days, I think it was different styles. I think that was the idea of UFC, like the mixed martial arts. And now become one style. I would say, like most of the guys competing there nowadays, they implement jiu-jitsu if they're not a jiu-jitsu athlete. Like everyone kind of work wrestling, like grappling, change the scene.
It did. Instead of just doing one discipline, you need about 5.
Exactly. So I think making the guys work harder.
Yeah.
It was, for me, it was like revolutionary thinking. Like in a fight word, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty easy when you say striking, because even if you don't practice the sport, you can clearly see who's winning, who's not. But when it's time for grappling and another dimension, so now people start to need to study more fighting, different styles, and it's fun, interesting.
And obviously the different body types too. And everyone's got their own strengths and weaknesses. Super flexible, super strong.
Better
techniques,
rules, better techniques, better rules. I would say, like protecting you as an athlete. Now is much more professional. Like it's compared to those days.
Oh yeah, much.
So we got rules protect. It's still violent. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
like it's still. Some people get a bit impressed. Like, but it's way better. Like there's rules protecting the athletes. Everyone training smarter now, respecting recovery time. So it's
and their training's very professional.
So
and recovery,
and then like that what made it so big. I think, that first idea being complete amateur, pure violence. So I think they did a good job, like professional,
making it professional.
So
hey, you're doing well. I can't speak 2 languages, so you're doing extremely well. And so, how old were you when you started?
17 to 18.
17, 18.
Not too young. I think my generation is much more common starting jiu-jitsu as a first martial art.
Yeah.
I've never been involved in any other before. I was always been like a very active kid, like playing soccer, volley, anything. But not fighting, like basketball. But then it was a friend of mine, again, just watching UFC. I was playing basketball back in the time. Got like an injury in my ankle. Sort of lost the interest a little bit and went there to do like one class.
Yeah.
And I'm like 23 years later.
That's it.
Still on. That's it.
Still on that journey.
Never ends, to be honest.
No, every day something new. And with that, what was the training? Did the training evolve as you started? Like, was it quite arduous and physical, and then how did that sort of training evolve to your own sort of style now? And then maybe their teaching style to your teaching style?
Oh, I would say like jiu-jitsu is getting more and more professional. So there's a lot of people leaving from jiu-jitsu now, being fighters or gym owners, different entrepreneurs like clothes branding. So we have much more information. Like internet's here. Like you have your own world in your hand. Back in the time, I think we didn't have much information. So
true.
We're grinding more. Like we're working hard. Don't get me wrong. Old mentality of like training, don't get water, don't rest, no fan, like all that, like a rough mentality. I'm lucky enough to see, like I can see the chill, like I live this transition. So like that old school jiu-jitsu that a lot of people mention nowadays to this modern jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
So I'm stoked because I live that transition. I can see the train evolve. We have much more information now. Whatever happened in a world championship, you can watch like live.
Yeah.
So you can take all the information right away, start work with your students. So now it's like make the coaches and teachers job way harder, I would say, because like you need to constantly be hustling, studying. But in other hand, it's helpful too because you have something to look after and then chase for new techniques and keep involved. Back in my time, I was grinding in the gym. Like, it was so hard to find a magazine to buy.
Yeah.
Talking about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, even when watch the tutorials, it was like frame by frame. Like,
like picture.
So like, I remember like one or two news agents used to sell that magazine in my city. So it was a hustle. But yeah, now like I've been living that transition, training better, like keeping evolving, and stoked. Like the way jiu-jitsu and like the conditioning training are moving forward now, it's amazing. Like
so with your condition, I guess the conditioning training would change, I guess, several times and continually. I guess at the start when you were, I guess in your mid to late 20s, you can recover a lot better. Then obviously in your 30s, you're still okay. And then the mid to late 30s is like, oh, I need to think about longevity and recovery.
That's true. Yeah.
So, how because when did you start doing like professional sort of competitions?
Yeah. It's funny to think, like back when I was competing in Brazil, like full-time competing, it was very common to see athletes having a part-time work.
Oh yeah, of course.
Job and then work like training part-time and still winning world championship. Nowadays, if you try to do that, like you have to be like a full-time athlete. Like those new kids, like new generation, they've been spending hours, like 6-8 hours in the gym. I lucky enough, like from my late blue belts to purple, was like dedicating a lot of time, putting a lot of my personal life on hold just to live that dream and compete as much as I could. But with the age now, like I think, when you're young, man, your gas, like your tank is full.
You're invincible.
Yeah, that's it. You snap your elbow, ice pack, maybe anti-inflammatory, and you train next session.
Yeah. So
I think right now, like lady, like 30s, I'm on my 40s now. I need to choose my training way wiser. Like, I'm 69 kilos. I need to try avoid like 100 kilos guys or like things that gonna expose myself too much, like risk of injury. Yeah. But I'm still training it hard. I like it. Just respecting more like resting time, as you said. Like I think hormone levels are not the same anymore. Yeah. And I need to alternate and training better. Like give a good rest in between. I would say train a bit less, shrink your hard work hours
yeah,
of training, and then try add that to your resting. Like try sleep well, eat well. I think nowadays I'm much more focused on my food, my resting. I might miss my jiu-jitsu session, but I don't miss my recovery session. Like all my little routine. I want to train for longevity, man. That's it.
That's you definitely want to be able to have a good quality of life at the next chapter, rather than just being stuck in a mobile.
So true. Yeah. No. Taking new challenges. I think right now it's time like for the new generation. You can see like amazing kids, amazing young adults in the gym training. So I think I try to use jiu-jitsu now, not just as a sport, but as a self-development tool, like help you tough yourself in life. I think that's my mission right now, like try show what jiu-jitsu did good with my life, and then try pass the message and try build some champions. Like,
exactly.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And so how did you end up coming from Brazil to Coolangatta on the Gold Coast, and then set up the first, I think that would have been the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school in Cooley.
In Cooley, definitely. Yeah, official one. I think few people might try like some sort of amateur one or full-time ones, but maybe in Coolangatta. You're right. Like with us. Well, like
because I think as soon as your school turned up, it was probably about maybe 5 years after you could all of a sudden see them pop up everywhere.
Yeah. Oh,
and then it's like, but there's definitely a wave that turned up. But how did you end up coming from, I guess, Brazil and going, I'm going to test out the Gold Coast?
Oh, completely random. Just had a friend. Coincidentally, now he's my student living here in Good Cause. I used to teach his dad, and I remember his dad. He was a pro surfer, and I remember his dad like always talking good stuff about Gold Coast, and like, oh, my son was in the Gold Coast, Australia, and somehow I got stuck with that name. Honestly, I didn't know much what was going on here. Didn't know one person, and I was just like tired of Brazil, man. I would say I pretty much ran away from Brazil. Wasn't planning having an academy or anything.
Oh, right.
So I think it was, the thing, man, like society nowadays create that stereotype of success.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I was growing up like fighting, training jiu-jitsu. I know mom and dad, they come from like with the best intentions ever, but it's like, oh, okay, cool. Jiu-jitsu, we're going to keep him out of trouble. He's super active. That's fine. But eventually he's going to find something serious to do it.
Yeah.
And then like brother, sister, cousins, they all like getting uni degrees, engineers. I was feeling that pressure, man. It was heavy. Like
that is very heavy. Families pressure and expectation.
Yeah.
That's.
And then I was getting tired. Like I was a bit ashamed to be myself because no one was taking jiu-jitsu as my profession. And I think even myself then I was using jiu-jitsu as a escape.
Yeah.
This is my time. Everyone leave me alone. I'll go and train. And then I was getting more and more. So it's like when I started getting medals and put an effort, then I was like, oh, that's a cool thing. But again, Brazil is tough to live. Now it's better, jiu-jitsu. Never had a chance to travel. Pretty much my whole like brother, cousins, they all like doing exchange school programs. I was getting old, man, 30. I'm like, all right, why not? I'll try. And sold everything in Brazil. Like, then I took my last, I remember, because I was like, okay, I don't know if there's jiu-jitsu academies, if you'll be able to train again. So I took pretty much my last 4 months in Brazil, training full-time, like being that full-time athlete again. It was awesome. But then I moved here, like, without knowing anyone, like, that speak English. Like, jiu-jitsu was just far away. It was something that, like, I bought my gi, hoping on it, okay, I need to meet people. I need to start somewhere. And if I find a jiu-jitsu academy, the chance of have a Brazilian in there, then I could communicate with would be huge.
Yeah.
Long story short, like I came with a 6-month visa to study English with 1 month of my home stay paid. I was a lovely lady. She helped me like find a jiu-jitsu academy somehow without speak, like body language.
Yeah.
Pointed up on a yellow page. Took me good 3 bus trips from Paradise Point to Miami to find the gym. First 2 completely failing. Like couldn't find. Open maps. Didn't have any iPhone back there. Like 2010. So it was like, all right, struggle. And then when I found it, funny because they were closed. It was not night training. I was like,
oh no.
Well, all right. At least I found it. I knew what it is. And that was Daniel Lima from Fight Club. He opened the door like so nicely. Of course, sort of scared of competition like this. I think he was the first black belt.
Okay,
in Queensland.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not wrong, I was the 3rd black belt coming to Queensland.
Yeah.
So it's competition. Like he can be, but man, he ended up letting me train twice a week there for free, check me out. And I think that's when things start to happen, move forward. I met like people in there, got my first job in a like cleaning company, doing anything you could possibly imagine, man. Like terrible, worst job ever. But I would start to like survive, and somehow everything I did in my life was somehow sabotage a little bit so I could have jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like go to uni, everything, but sort of like, no, if they're gonna wreck my jiu-jitsu,
oh, I see, yeah.
Always try to push. And then those jobs here as a cleaning was at least let me train, like, and be in contact with jiu-jitsu. Still not planning, wasn't planning to open anything and Daniel Lima started to give me like opportunities to run a few classes, get confident in front of like a Creole and with a different language. Back there I was like study English so much because I knew I needed it. Otherwise I would keep doing the scrap jobs that I did.
Yeah.
So it's like intense, like work on that. And then finally I met one of my black belts now, JP, training with us.
Yep.
The guy who was like, he was working in a security company, and he was like, "Man, get your license, get a security license. I'll get a job for you. Like invest that money." I was super scared, like I wasn't making much money, but put the money in there, and that was a game change for me because I was going through working for $7 an hour to up to 30. I was starting making money. I was like,
actually could move ahead,
and I still couldn't train jiu-jitsu. So I was like working nighttime 4 nights a week and having my whole week to train jiu-jitsu. Then I was, working harder. And then opportunities start coming to my lap, like compete, start like teaching more and more, keep in touch with the sport. And with all that stuff, I had to stay here. So I was working hard, renewing my student's visa. Like
visa issues. That
would make stuff.
That's really difficult. But I mean, I've been obviously very fortunate. Born in New Zealand, so that I could. My father's Spanish, so I've got like a Spanish passport,
happy days.
Kiwi passport, and Australian passport.
Oh, that's it. Nice.
I can go to Europe and I'm fine, but the visas isn't. Yeah, it's a huge luxury, and I guess to not be afforded that luxury of just coming over and then just finding work, and instead of having to battle the visa issues on top. It's difficult but very impressive, especially with fortitude. You've definitely got fortitude to go through all of that and then have that to deal with and not speak another language, especially 2010. Like you got things on the apps now, but even now you got Duolingo. You can pick up I could pick up some Portuguese. But it's
tough times.
It's very difficult.
First work was like, I was making like $220 a week, and just my room was $180. So it was like,
oh jeez,
living my month pretty much with home-brain tuna and home-brain noodles.
Yeah.
So it was like enough for lunch and dinner, like $2 lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
So, tough times. But I think being a jiu-jitsu, I think now I can see it, but end up helping me so much. I think jiu-jitsu toughs you up mentally. you like it or not. And then I think that made me like be resilient and then like overcome the challenge. I could simply turn my back and walk home.
Yeah, for sure.
And give up because it wasn't easy. As you said, the visa, be here as a student was costing me like $10,000, $12,000 a year just to be here. And I left Brazil, I was 30 years old, so I couldn't see what happened, like another year as a student. So I renewed like 2 visas as a student. And thanks so much, like Daniel Lima, again, the first guy who opened the door for me. He got his visa through, they call Distinguished Talent.
Yep.
So he came here as an athlete, as a fighter, and he got granted the visa. So he's like, man, talk to my lawyer. Might be the goal. And man, so lucky I did that.
Yep.
The guy was impressed with like the curriculum, all the results. He just said, man, you need to be active. You need to compete. So then I was like, okay, game on. Like,
so that's how you got into the competitions.
Then I was
you're obviously doing competition in Brazil, but then I guess here is like,
that was the motivation. That was a push. I was like, okay, if you need me, like, I think I was sort of wanting to hear that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, now I need to compete. Awesome. That's it.
Okay, that's a final tick of approval.
That's it. Then I was like, yeah, working super hard, training hard to compete. It's quite hard. Jiu-jitsu comps on the weekend.
Yep.
And my job is on the weekend. Yeah. And I couldn't afford to like get many days off. I need to pay the bills. So man, I did like a couple comps like back to back, 12-hour shift, wake straight to the comp, win the comp, come back, another 12-hour shift. So I think it was tough me up. I was like, okay, if that's the way, I'll do it. And yeah, long story short, I finished 2013 and 14 as #1 black belt in Australia.
Wow.
And then, so we launched the visa. We like put the application on, which wasn't cheap too. It was like $17,000 or something.
Wow.
So, and then you don't know if you're going to,
if they'll get the pass or
you're going to pass or not. And again, like tough decisions. Then I had the opportunity to open Flow, our first little academy with my ex business partner, Ryan Crary. We were working on all the gym together, and then we kind of like, oh man, see like gaps in the other gyms, stuff that they were doing that we weren't agree. Yeah, like, oh man, I think we could have our place and not do those mistakes or work the way we wanna. Why not? But however, man, I didn't have a visa, so we had a good conversation, a good opportunity to jump into a business. But in my mind, I was freaking out. I was, Jesus, everything I have is just my savings now. I'm going to put all in.
Oh, yeah.
What about if they refuse my visa or no one wants to give you that advice what to do?
Yeah.
Like,
that's the Russian roulette flick of the coin.
That's it. And honestly, it was that, man. I just closed my eye and all in. We decided to open Flow without the result of my visa. And yeah, it was so cool because the immigration come back to me, recognizing the skill, awesome, good talent, impressed, but you need to prove to us you can get employed or you can survive on your own. And I had a business running. So
yeah,
if I didn't open that thing, man, it might be refused. Like my visa might be refused. So all in pays off. That's it. Like when I sent the documentation, I had the business running already. Happy days, stay in Australia as a resident. And then that is like, you took a ton out of your shoulder. That's like, all right. Done. Like first, the hardest thing's done. And then things just start unfolding in front of me. Such a good opportunity. Like the way the Australians treat me, like they recognize you as your skill, your work. They see you as a hard worker and all. As I used to see myself in Brazil, like be ashamed to be who I was. So it's good ride, happy. And now 5 years later, we just launched our second academy. So it's like still
it's amazing. It's amazing to see how it all started. And now you've opened up in Kingscliff, and yeah, a lot more. You got a diverse range of students as well. of all ages, female classes, no gi. How did, I guess it would have started with, how did it all sort of progress to what it is now? Because obviously you would have had, I guess the biggest thing, like for example, the UFC had to do was educate people, because it was when people saw people, I guess the stand up, though, that's easy to understand. It's like human chest standing up, jab, jab, punch, kick, knee, elbow, whatever. And then as soon as it's on the ground, what's going on?
Is that new what?
Yeah, and then you got the commentator saying passing guard, he's got an arm bar. What's an arm bar? Oh, there's a chokehold. Oh, he's got secured a choke. Oh, he's got out of it. So you had all these things that they helped educate, I guess, through Joe Rogan and commentary. And I guess coming over to Australia with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the time was very, it wasn't heard of as well. And then I guess did you have any problems with like families coming in or worrying about, I guess that particular style because they haven't really seen it?
Well, I think, a lot of people get confused. If you say jiu-jitsu, they think you're a UFC fighter, you knock heads and like, but I think, people are giving a go right now. Like, as you said, like they're getting more educated. They start to research. Thanks a lot again, like internet. Now you can like look for gym. You can read about it. You can do a research, making sure like, the person is legit. You're putting your kid or yourself in a safe environment. I think is the coach's job, like also educate the crew, make sure we clear a little bit that like rough stereotype of like be just full of tattoos, like us still have it. That's fine. Like, but I think that doesn't mean everything. That was pushing people away.
Yeah,
I think then jiu-jitsu, we could sort of educate people into like, oh, well, we're not UFC. There's no striking. You're gonna have fun here. We're gonna like, then weak people then like not very privileged physically or having some success. And then I think that word of mouth is amazing. Like people start talk.
Yeah.
And now I can see like jiu-jitsu is growing organically. Everyone who's tried jiu-jitsu for B, they having a better experience. Back in the time when I started, you get punished. That's it. Like you go in, fresh meat.
Yeah.
They like hip your head off. Now it's like, at least, of course, you need to make sure you're in a good environment, like a nice gym. In our place, we try to make sure all the beginners are welcome. We know how hard it is walking through the door for a female or for a physically unprivileged person, kids. And we know, like as a jiu-jitsu coach, the power of those tools we have in hand. So like people are coming in little by little, getting like self-esteem improved, seeing the jiu-jitsu is like, oh, it's fun. And then even if I want to go hard and compete, I'm still not getting punched.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, that's a big thing.
And become a huge market. It's a family-friendly martial art. If you go on an event, the vibe is great because people are not punching each other. They're not like we're wrestling hard, don't get me wrong. Like it's a tough sport, but makes more enjoyable. If you tap a friend, that's it. Shake hands, walk away, try again.
And then at least if you get tapped out or you tap out, you have the option, okay, how did you get me? And then they go, well, you did this. And you go, oh, no. Okay, or you go home and you do a quick research on YouTube or you find your instructor.
That's it.
But there's always something. And I guess that it's a really great atmosphere and you build a good bond, I found, because it's sort of similar to like, I guess if you go to defense, like the Army or Navy or any physical training you do with a friend or something, it just builds a bond. And then you both go through that hardship and then together you end up becoming best friends or brothers. And I find it's very similar to jiu-jitsu because you physically are wrestling and you're trying to submit and you're trying to learn and then you're uncomfortable. And then at the end of that 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever the roll is, you're either spent but they'll talk to you and they'll say, okay, you did this. This is really good. Try this move, and you always clap hands and have a good chat, and then that's and you have the freedom to tap if you're uncomfortable. So instead of pushing yourself past your limits at the start until you start to learn to breathe, which is the first thing I learned. I was still learning, I should say.
Yeah, can get a bit of claustrophobic jiu-jitsu at the beginning, like
the first one.
Yeah,
but they're very nice.
No, get better. I think we try to create such a good community here. I think the idea of, I could see surf and jiu-jitsu working together as a culture. A lot of people before we opened the gym here, they were kind of like, oh man, Kulangara, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true, because a lot of businesses come and go, especially around that sort of area. Difficult market.
But I was like, okay, if you're marketing for surfers, man, like 99% for that town,
that's true.
They're in the water. If you can get like,
that's a good point.
0.5 walking to my door, like,
it'll
be fine. I'm gonna have people.
Yeah,
and I think we managed to have like a good atmosphere.
Definitely.
Yourself can see, like,
for sure.
Everyone's helping. You learn from every single person there. The reality is, you're equal in there. So we have people from different backgrounds, like doctors, lawyers, dishes. Like, we go there, we get changed, we're wearing the same dress. That's it. Same problems. We need to solve what's going to be in front of us. You can leave all your problems behind. Shake hands, big family. We're going to wrestle hard and then talk about become a big society, like a big community. Like, and then you start help each other. Like, if I need a lawyer and I have a lawyer train with me, like, that's it. I'm not going to go look for a lawyer somewhere else. Like, we kind of like grow that big community.
Everyone helps each other.
Helping one another. That's it. Like, spread the goodness. And then I think we're achieving that. The crew, like, is such a light environment in flow. Like,
it's got a great vibe.
We try to make sure we can address people's different needs. Like, we work like with special kids. We don't separate them. We integrate them with the other ones. It's challenging. Having a gym, even like myself now, never had before. It's tough. It's just not. You're not just a coach. You become like more than you think. Like, I have my business, then I have to look after. But I'm a psychologist. I have students calling me on my Sunday nights asking for advice. I have parents like scaring how the kid gonna be in a competition that's gonna happen on Sunday, calling me on Friday. It's like people's emotion. It's been like a roller coaster of emotions for me too. So that's when I'm like, okay, I back off a little bit, because I used to see jiu-jitsu with the eyes of a fighter.
Yeah.
Now I try to like, okay, wait. It's too much going on. I know the fight thing, but there's much more than I can offer.
Yeah.
Now, like, I can see, man, like, kids changing the way they walk. They're walking there like all introverted. They don't talk much. Within like a month of training, you can see they completely different, like different posture, like much more confident. And then that triggers us to work harder. Now I'm like studying more that side of like helping people, like regarding results. Like, to be honest, like that, what for me, what matters is see people grow inside my room as a human being. That's the nice thing, because jiu-jitsu is pretty cool, but I think that the most fun part and the nicest one is the jiu-jitsu on our every day in the gym, outside of the spotlights competition. That's another thing. That's like involved too much. The Zigo, like, is another theme. But the jiu-jitsu inside your club, that feeling of having your mates around, like talk after the class, have that conversation, share some stuff, talk about life, like that for me, it's priceless. Like, it's the most fun part of jiu-jitsu. It's like work hard there and then like leave everything with your friends. We trust each other so much. Then like even a day, if you have an injury or something, you're gonna still hooking up and hey man, let's just go a bit lighter. I don't want to miss out. I want to train.
Yeah.
Like, and then we support you to do that. So that for me is the fun part of jiu-jitsu. Competition secondarily, like it's another thing.
Yeah.
I think working to that self growth, self-development it's amazing. I can see like it's a huge niche, it's a huge power we have in hands, and somehow now I'm trying to put everything on paper and see how I can help you using this.
Yeah. I found that the main catalyst for me, well, it has been several years to actually go and do it, but I think it was the fact that being is stress. Like if you're not under much stress in your life anymore, I'm not hunting, I was pretty comfortable, and then obviously when you go through some stressful situations, your reactions are going to be a certain way. And I found that if you stress yourself through your body, through your mind, you'll better adapt to those scenarios. So, for example, if you're running and then you push through the running, it can be meditative, but then it gets to a difficult, burning, horrible situation. Your legs are burning, your eyes are falling off, and you just want to quit. And your whole body's saying, okay, that's enough. I don't want any more of this. Can you please stop? And then it just gets louder. And I think with that sort of stress, you get a bit more comfortable. And then I guess to constantly, I guess, strive for stressful situations can, I guess, counter the negatives of dealing with, relationship problems or friendships or work or and then I guess through that I was like, okay, so what have I done new? Like, you sort of get used to in your own comforts that you don't branch out anymore. You're sort of, as a kid, you'll try this, you'll try that. You'll go to chess club, you'll go to swimming class, you'll do a sport, then you'll do another sport, and then you'll do another hobby, then you do your homework. But then as we get older, we sort of stay with the three things, like family, work, and then Netflix.
It's true.
And so then it's like, okay, so how have I challenged my brain? And that's where I found is, okay, well, what new thing have I picked up, and how will that evolve? And yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has all of those questions. You've got the physical stress, then you've got the mental stress, and then you've got breathing on top. So it's and then you've got camaraderie and friendship. So it all balances out. And then you've got self-defense, and yeah.
It's a big mix. It's like,
and then health and fitness, and then you get stronger and better aerobic fitness. So yeah, it's impressive, really.
Yeah, like good way to say is a whole package. If you look at this with like this perspective, I agree. Like even myself, until like I'm doing jiu-jitsu for 23 years, and I'm still like blowing my mind, challenging myself. Like, I still have my ego. I still have my dark thoughts, and like I'm a human being, you know what I mean? And I keep challenging myself. I keep like going up and down, failing, succeed. And the way I try like using that mental stress, physical stress from jiu-jitsu and apply that in life is in jiu-jitsu, if you're under stress, tired, and then if you go blank, like the fight or flight mode, it's going to get even worse.
Yeah.
But then if you do something wrong, like you fail on that, you try your best to adapt, change, to improve. And even if you're doing all this stuff, being calm, trying, worst scenario, you're going to tap out.
Yeah, exactly.
And you start again.
Yeah.
So try to see life problems as jiu-jitsu problems. So,
yeah.
Okay, throw the problem. Okay, I do have a problem. Can I change that? No, I can't. The fact is there. I need to change how I'm going to react. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I can go complete panic, try to solve my problem very, very quick, try to like...
Make it worse.
You make it worse, exactly. So I think in jiu-jitsu, like we have that power of, I do have the problem. I need to think how I'm going to do it. If you can solve it, we're going to find a way to solve it. That's it. Yeah. And then if you can't, tap out, move on, next row. Like, that's life. Like we're not, you know what I mean? Like in terms of everything, like if you try a new business, you starting your business, we're gonna fail, we're gonna do good things, but there's nothing wrong. Like if you your business broke, cool. I try my best with everything I had on the time.
Yeah.
Tap out, move to the next challenge. You know what I mean? I think try use that mindset that we have through jiu-jitsu. I would say even physically, like we become more resistant to pain. To like
that's true. I do.
Like honestly, right now, like it's not a little squish that make me uncomfortable. Like you need to like I can fight with broken fingers, so toughs you up. You know, I remember like as a beginner in jiu-jitsu, you snap your elbow for the first time, you go see the doctor, then like you have to put ice, you have to stop train, anti-inflammatory, blah 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 blah. Then you do it. Then you go again, a doctor. If you snap again, it's the same thing. Like, okay, rest, ice, this. Third time, man, I wasn't going to doctor anymore. Like, I know what he's going to tell me. Like, and then you start to like tough yourself up. Even nowadays, like I'm going to look for the doctor if it's something serious. Trust me. Like if it's, so you become more resistant to pain, and then subconsciously going to be more resistant to emotional pain. Like, and I carry this for my life now. Every time I'm like freaking out, I'm like, okay, sit down, have a think, breathe. We cannot change the outcome. Like, is that whatever happened. You know what I mean? Like, we can change the way we're going to react. I think that's the biggest thing jiu-jitsu teaches us is like solving problems, like more calm. Like,
and you get the better outcomes that way.
I mean, like again, as a human being, I've been reacting a lot. And
then you got ego to throw in on all that too.
Yeah, ego is a big part, man. I think ego is stops so many people to move forward. Like, I would say last year or 2 years ago, like I had a few issues in the gym, too much stuff going on, like personal friends, like be treating you, like so much going on. Then my ego, man, jumped right in front. Like I didn't have a fun year last year and the year before. I was like working hard still, but I was losing my spark. I didn't want to be in the gym. I was like, because I was there with the wrong reasons. I was trying to prove people to like, okay, I'm gonna prove you, I'm gonna show you. So that was my ego talk so much. Like I did all my job. I have nothing to prove. Like I think I'm doing well. Like honestly, so it took me a while to understand that. Last year I got sick. Like had a big surgery, like emergency surgery, and spent 15 days in the hospital by myself.
Oh wow!
When like nearly died, man. Like exactly a year ago.
Whoa!
That thing changed a lot, like on the way I was seeing things. Then 15 days, man, like have painkillers in the hospital, trips your mind, but also make me realize like, okay, I could see my ego sort of like.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, that has to change. Like otherwise, look where I am. Like I'm in the hospital. Like it's not fun. My stress, I don't know if it, like I cannot relate that completely, but I'm pretty sure that's a piece. It's part of Then I change everything. Like nowadays, I'm work much more on myself. Again, I need help. I'm gonna call for help. I'll see psychologists, man, weekly.
Yeah.
I see mentors weekly. I think have their wrong idea of keep everything.
Yeah.
Like from my childhood was quite tough, so I learned how to solve stuff myself, and I didn't want to ask to people for help because that's sort of like you showing your weaknesses.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at this bit. Like, but yeah, if you're not good, like put somebody else that actually is good on it.
Yeah.
Like to help you out or ask for help. And then this year for me, that's the biggest change. I was like, I'm reaching out there much more to help myself. If I'm not good, if I'm not in a good headspace, how am I gonna pass that forward to my students, how I'm going to keep evolving with my own life. So this is like, found the joy. Like, again, I've been attempting my structures class, even because I was going to the gym when I was teaching, pretty much.
Yeah.
If it's not my class, I was like, I want to get out here. Like, it's too much going on. Parents talking, like all that stress. Jiu-jitsu used to be my valve too, like my time, and become my work. Yeah. It's like all the headaches, and so I was kind of surprised. And then this year was completely smooth. Like, found a love to compete. I'm training, as I said, like all my instructors classes. I come to like, you're teaching, not me. I'm here to train, like to have fun, rolling, part of the crew again.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I was setting a goal this year to like fight 2 or 3 events. I can't remember how many I did already. I think I fought like 5 or 7 times this year.
Yeah. Recently, like last 4 weeks, has it been away?
Been away.
And they're different competitions too. There was one before Vegas.
For the Australian Nationals.
Australian Nationals.
Managed to win my division, so it was awesome. Like before I hit out to America to try the World Championship. Got there. It was amazing. Like, love that vibe. Again, unfortunately, I didn't get the result that I was aiming for, but I was mega happy, man. Like, fought well, body was feeling good. The competition was pretty much a year after my surgery, so just to be there, man, on that world class level again, competing like equally with a good chance of get the title for me, I was like, it's a bonus. That's it. I'm here, back on. So excited for the awards next year, because definitely.
I'll have to book the ticket for that one. I can watch.
It's gonna be we try to bring a good crew. Got a few guys.
I'll do a little vlog for Flo.
That's it.
I get to audio and the videos and
good excuse to go Vegas.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's go. Yeah. So and then came back straight to a few other competitions just for last weekend. Right now, just like coaching kids, like pretty much whole day.
Just came back from Carrara and coaching the kids.
Excellent. Like, make stoke. Like, we brought 5 kids on our kids team. Come back like 4 golds and 1 silver. And with 5 kids, we got the 3rd place overall between academies. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. For me, quality.
Yeah.
Maybe works better than quantity. Like, I know from quantity we can take quality, but for me, like, nearly 100% of achievement. Like, and I need to talk this kid, because the one who got silver, he had the best fight ever. Like, it was a war. Like, his silver medal for me was more than all the other gold. The one who got the gold, it's okay.
Yeah,
they're good.
Yeah,
still proud of, but that
silver.
Second place, that silver had a different taste. Like, that was a war. Like, you're proud of that kid.
Yeah, it
was cool.
He went through it,
and most important, like, they all smile, man. Like, having fun. It's so good to see. We spread that culture. Like, our kids helping each other. Like, bringing the water for the kid that just finished his mat and it's like super thirsty, cannot talk. Like, the little ones bringing water, helping, giving tips.
Oh, so wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
How old are the kids?
Our youngest one, 5 today, and the oldest one, 9. So,
oh wow!
So the kids at that age
already
being like, understand how working together, be cooperatively working, we can achieve big things. Like, especially nowadays, we are in a very tough world, man. Like, super competitive.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think implement a bit of cooperation, corporativism can be a good thing too. Like, they're doing well. They, don't get me wrong, they're competing. They're doing both. You know what I mean? And jiu-jitsu is funny because it's an individual sport, but it's a team sport. Like, you fight there as individual, but you have a whole team like yelling you. Like, we train together, so you're not that alone. Like, you're there with your whole team on your back.
What's the sort of greatest challenge, I guess, as a coach when you have to sit and watch a competition? I guess you've had many competitions yourself, going in there and playing around with the best, and then having victories and so on. And then I guess when you're on the other side and you're teaching and then you're watching, and how's that? How do you deal with that?
Yes.
Because it's not like you can.
Yeah, let's see. Like kids, I think they think what I'm more worried about is like give them a good support regardless the result. Is a pretty stressful scenario. Don't get me like.
Yeah.
Imagine you as a 5 years old, jump in that stadium. There's hundreds of people watching you. So for kids, I think you need to make sure they're having fun. Don't put pressure. Like you can burn a talent. Like if you make that kid not having a good experience, so just give a shoulder, and if they win, they win. Don't make it as a big deal too. Like they need to understand, like, okay, I won, but I'm not the king of the universe. Life moves on. Like, cool, awesome, and then take the loss too. Like and walk away without cry, understanding. If students of mine come to me, I'm not gonna make up any. Oh yeah, no worries. You lost because of the guy who's 20 kilos over than you. No. You lost because he beat you up, man. Like today, he was better than you. Yeah. Simple as that. Go back. We're gonna work on. I'm here, giving my shoulder to you as a support. Well done. We're proud.
Yeah.
Like reality, no shortcuts. Then kids, we get extremely nervous and sweaty because we cannot jump in like and help.
Yeah.
But they're doing good as long as like parents are trusting us as well and not sideline coaching too much or putting pressure, expecting big results. Just let it come naturally.
Yeah.
And with the adults, then that's very like individual. Like it's super hard as a coach to find out how you're going to spark the best performance from that person. Like some people
are quite like to be by themselves and motivate themselves. I'm kind of like that.
Some people, bit of tough love. They kind of like
sometimes,
you spark good performance. Some people you need to pat the head and please. Some people you need to like poke them, like make them like, okay, I'm gonna show you, huh? That's all you think. Yeah. And then together motivated.
Yeah.
That's the hardest
thing. Get the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
For a difficult challenge.
Yeah. So, but with adults, I think it's a bit easier. Like at the end of the day, they can make their own choice. Like we try to guide, but they are there fighting at the end of the day. Doesn't make me super nervous. Like, of course, the intensity of the fight, I wanna be there. Depends how the fight. If it's heating up, like that's it. It's on. I'm pretty much.
You're feeling it.
I'm losing my voice. Like even today, like just to be there for like the whole morning. Adults, I think, make sure they're in a good mindset. Night before, help with. I think, adults, we already have our opinion. We already have our conscience much more developed than the kid.
Yeah,
and we have that tendency of overthink.
Oh, for sure.
Spinning around and thinking about what people gonna think of you afterwards. You're gonna disappoint people. You're gonna like that's the thing you need to try get it off of your students' head. You know, like just be present. Like we cannot control the outcome. We work well. We did everything we could with what we have in hands. You prepare it. Do your thing. Like go there and see what happened. Like I think manage to. I share few tools, few techniques that I use that help myself, like to calm down and be more present, control my emotions, and then I try to pass that forward. See if I can help and somehow I can see improvements myself doing those different techniques, like brain exercise and through breathing, to don't overthink, because trust me, I do overthink a lot too. Like I still have the bugs. I still have like it's not easy. It's cool.
Yeah, I can see that. overanalyze things, and so much so you can talk yourself out of something, and then you've got to say, hang on a minute. So I always I've got a daily sort of routine that sort of helps me out. But do you have like like I know Wim Hof, he's got his breathing techniques. He's come through in cold water therapy, and then you got your saunas. Are you into saunas yet?
Yeah, I'm going all through those things. Yeah, cold showers, ice bath. Yeah, and it's been enjoyable, to be honest. Like I can feel the difference. Like, and it's funny. I think working all this together and try being in harmony with your whole body, like body, mind, like
that's really hard.
Respecting your limitations. I think you just attract the good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think my past few months or even this year, things are happening. Like I'm coming across good people. Like good people walk into my room. Well-known people, like in conditioning, in like good coaches. Like recently we had this Diego, like Brazilian guy who turned up, walked to our door, like as a good friend. He's a big name in Brazil, preparing all the UFC fighters and stuff. So,
oh wow,
we had a chance to see our academy in a magazine. He was a columnist of that magazine. He has a space in the magazine. It's like, I didn't ask for that.
It just naturally flowed through.
The universe, like if you're in a positive mindset, I think you attract that. And then
things happen when you're moving.
Another way as well, if you keep that negativity,
then negative things will
come. Like you're gonna put yourself in a hole. So and then those cold showers, all those like ice bath and all those techniques, breathing techniques, has a massive part on it. Like,
and how about the diet? Do you have like a certain diet, or is that more for, I guess, when you're going into competition?
I've always been looking after myself, like eating well.
Yeah,
I eat good thing of training a lot.
You're gonna burn a lot.
Even if I wanna eat a crap food, I was giving that pleasure to myself because it's like, it's not gonna make a damage. I train so much once in a while.
Yeah, like once in a while, for sure. And you need it, you need a little, you need a little something.
It's escape, man. Let's say, like, and you feel good after.
Exactly.
But since like I had my surgery, and start to work with this mental conditioning, like a bit of a mental coach, not just mental, but like conditioning as well.
Yeah.
He has this, like Taylor has this whole holistic approach of training, mobility, like food. So it's not just training. So he was the one who showed me a lot of dieting, like not dieting, but eating well, like looking after my guts, because
gut health.
I need that. I need my body. How he joked about it, was like, man, see yourself as a Ferrari. If you're a Ferrari, man, you need a good petrol in it. Otherwise, that's it. You need a high octane, high octane petrol. So start to eat better. And ever since, I think we're working together now for 5 months or so. It's been crazy. Like, I don't need to cut much weight when I'm fighting. I'm always there. Body feels good, like energy level, always peak, always up. Main things I changed, like I've been drinking way more water than before. I used to be like a bit negligent on that, never thought about it. Now I've been like having lots of water. And
do you drink a lot when you wake up? Or
like wake up in the morning, a liter of water with a lime. First thing, scrap my thumb, get all the toxins out of your thumb.
I forgot to do that. I used to do that religiously. Thank you.
So that's the first thing. Now it's funny because I cannot travel without my scraper. Everywhere I'm going, like that's the first thing in the morning. So scrape your toxins out.
Yeah.
Like a good liter of water, and then I start like I prepare good breakfast, like veggies, like protein, meat, like good plate.
So you have a proper meal for breakfast.
Proper meal for breakfast.
Do you have any like Brazilian sort of recipes that you use?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Like, no, I don't crave much those things. Then after, like I make like a smoothie, like a good, like I make this messy, like this mashed banana, peanut butter, oats. I put everything there.
Yeah, it's like a
mash, make it like a big
bit of an egg. Throw an egg in there for protein. Some hemp protein.
After the big plate, then that's like it's giving me much more energy. I think I was going up and down in energy because it was big blocks without eat. Now I kind of eat regularly.
Yeah, I've sort of tried the intermittent fasting, but I found that it was really good gut health and I felt good. But lately I felt more tired, and then I'm starting to drink more water and looking to eat a breakfast, because usually I won't eat breakfast until I'll eat about at lunchtime. But I don't know if it works that well if you're having a coffee in the morning. So I think it's there was an argument with that. But I definitely found that I have to start eating more, and recently it started to improve my energy levels.
Yeah, no.
But I'm interested in that training and how he's got everything together, the holistic training.
Yeah, like I think what I scrapped from my diet, like dairy, like not having milk anymore.
How do you do coffees?
Coconut milk or almond milk. Took me a while to accept, but
yeah. I'll have one coffee with dairy. No, I lie. I try and do one. Sometimes I'll do the maca milk.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the maca milk. Tried almonds here and there, but I think the maca is not bad. It's
not
got
bad.
A good consistency, but it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah,
it was a bit tough at the beginning. Like I was a very big like milk drinker. To be honest, like 2 liters a day. Like,
wow,
crazy! And always like, man, being a jiu-jitsu person, your joints get completely like you work a lot.
Yeah.
On your body, and I never associate that stuff up until I start to work with this, like with Taylor. Like I gave a good go of I'm cutting gluten, I'm cutting dairy, no milk. Let's see what happens. Like I'll give this guy the benefit of let's see. I'll check it out, because in my mind I was like, oh nah, that's bullshit. Like inflammations and
yeah.
Then surprisingly after 2 months of eating very clean, no alcohol, nothing, like just eating well. Don't get me wrong, not being hungry, like choosing good quality food, like good fuel. No headaches. All my aches, all my joints started to like, the pain was going away. And then for me, that was like first time in years, man, like being a jiu-jitsu practitioner, we deal with the pain. Like I didn't know what was it a day without like a sore finger or something was always tingling. And then, I wasn't feeling those anymore. I'm like, all right. Okay, I'm going to give him a bit of a go. Keep pushing. Feeling awesome, man. Like, not even headaches. And then now every time, if I'm sleeping out and have a, like, dairy or something, next day, that's it. Elbows aching, my fingers a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I know the importance. Now I'm like, no way. I'll keep it up. I'll cut it.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I'll have some splurger some days. Yeah. Once in a while.
Yeah.
After comp, I'll kind of like pleasure myself.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome. Like combine that food so you can keep the chemicals on your body aligned, like working better. And then that's gonna affect your mood, your working day, the way you're gonna train yourself physically. So being implement more like reading, like physical training, good rest, good food. Bit of struggling for me, like try meditate a little bit. That was a hard one.
That's I've kind of got a little bit better at that, but I only do about 10 minutes.
That's it. I mean, it's been doing good.
10 minutes is, and I can sit. I don't get any big abstract things. I might get a floating thought, and then it will go away, and then I can relax a bit, and then all of a sudden the alarm will go. But generally, it sort of helps stabilize a little bit. But I actually find running to be
is a good
running
thing.
Is the one thing that I've found to be quite relaxing once you get over the struggle.
Yep.
And then you just find that right cadence, that right running style for yourself and that speed, really. Because it doesn't need to be a workout. It's just that rhythm. And I found that whenever I run, I always get an idea. Always.
That's awesome.
Any problem goes away. And then I dabbled in a bit of research, and I found that
one of the best things you can do from the pressure,
running, and it's great for memory, which I have a terrible memory. And so then I was looking at, well, how am I going to do interviews and forget the questions? And then I remembered, have you heard of Dr. Rhonda Patrick? Found My Fitness. She's a scientist, and she does a lot of things on vitamin D and gut health and saunas, and Joe Rogan obviously had her on a podcast, and that's how I found out about her. And she's got her own podcast, very interesting and great for longevity and health, overall health. So then she mentioned something about a running article. I think it was by Science Daily, and it had that if you run, it can help you study. So, but it depends. You got short-term memory and then long-term memory.
All right.
So if you read something and then run, I could get this around the wrong way. That's how good my memory is.
Let's go for jogging.
We'll go for a jog. But yeah, so for short term, I believe you read it then run, and then long term you run then
you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's one of those two things. But it's interesting to have how both of those play. Like you would never pick, okay, I'm going to learn this and then go for a run. Like, how do you come up with that? But then again, it opens up other questions like, why can you do that with swimming or cycling or something else?
And then implementing and start adapting yourself.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, so I was thinking, because all these interview questions, I better go for a run. So I got it cemented in my head, and
that's it.
I didn't. I missed out, but I did go for a swim. So something maybe.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, running. Yeah, nowadays, like when I do run, like mostly when I'm cutting weight or something, I used to try to get motivated by like music, put like a good tune and run. Now I run like in silence, man. I don't want anything. I want my brain, because then like it's as you said, you have an ideas. You start like, I don't know, my head spins when I'm running and starts like
and
overthinking.
Then it gets quiet, and then it gets I think I don't run like huge Ks because I just want to just do it for longevity. I like to try and I'm just started swimming the last 2 weeks, and I'm terrible at it. I didn't realize how much technique there is, but it's something new, and I just think that would be good with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Definitely.
And so I do that once a week, and then I run. I'm looking once or twice a week, and then back to Jiu-Jitsu 2 to 3. And then a bit of conditioning training once or twice. That's ideal.
Yep.
That's my perfect scenario.
Yeah, no.
And so watch out for me on Monday. I'll be ready for Monday.
Be ready for Monday. That's
ready for Monday. Otherwise, give us a call and knock on my door. Where are you?
Nah, that's it. We're gonna come grab you. That's
it. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, oh man. See, Jiu-Jitsu is completely amazing, and like it's amazing. Like see you going out of your comfort zone too. Like we have such a good chats in our class, in our privates, and
that'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's the other side of that side of jiu-jitsu I was talking about, like share experience, go through life problems, or sharing tips, advice, see what work, what not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Come back, oh Paulo, you told me that, but bullshit, man, it didn't work. It's like, okay, so
I did it, but I forgot it.
You know what I mean?
That's usually it.
But it's good to see like you as my student, and even like if you weren't my student, but see how you're putting yourself out there and trying those things to help you go through life better. I think when we're kids, we dream a lot, we try a lot, we try everything. It doesn't work, you don't care about opinion, try other stuff. Like, so
the hardest part is starting and not worrying too much what other people think.
I think,
and then worrying about how you're going to look.
Exactly.
And will people like this? Is it going to be? Am I going to be smart enough? Just do it, and then
reality is everyone.
You're still going to get those little birds. Like I do, but then every now and then I'm like, no, it's a good chat.
That's their problem. Like
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't care anymore. I think.
I really like this format mainly because sometimes when you go out, you see a lot of people. It's not a bad thing, but they're not engaged with each other as much potentially, unless you really try. Like you might see them on their phones and so on, and it's really hard to have the time to actually speak to someone because it's an hour and 16 minutes. I mean, look at that. But very hard to have a conversation with a lot of people for a long form. And this is why I like the idea of sharing a podcast, learning to communicate with different people, sharing stories, and then sharing it with everybody to see what they can get out of it and get motivated and try something new.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get out of that comfort zone.
Well, like talk about comfort zone. Yeah, for me, like I know we don't have a massive crew around here, but like, okay, microphone in front of me. Yeah. Like it's a bit of a help, man. Like, trust me, it was tripping me out. On my way to here. I was like, okay, that's something completely new.
Yeah, it's hard.
How I'm gonna sound like? How I'm gonna like?
It's so
and then
true.
At the end of the day, I was like, man,
like it's like the first one I did. It was trying to get used to the gear. Like make sure that was on, this is on, the sound's right, the levels are right, and then you got to be engaged, and then you got to get the chat right, and then you go, oh my gosh, and then there's a break in conversation, like oh. But yeah, what was it about? What? So yeah, it's always an ongoing learning experience, but it is daunting at I guess the first part when you're just starting, and then the setup, I guess, when you've seen the mic and then you go, okay, we're on. But I like the fact that it's a bit more freestyle because I'm not trying to cut it and make it a certain thing. I'm just trying to make it as a conversation, and so therefore make it as light, so everyone can be themselves in a way. And it's hard to put yourself out there on camera and then on the recording, and then next minute you hear yourself and you look at yourself. And I'm banging on with these headphones. There we go.
And then your voice doesn't sound the way.
Yeah.
Like you're familiar, like you.
Yeah, you go, is that my voice?
It's so.
Yeah.
How creepy is that?
Like, yeah. Is that me? Oh, I wish I'd just shut up.
No, but I like that this way too. I think if you try to put like everything like in order, maybe like the conversation gonna get out of the track, and then to go back to your original, but like freestyling, I think it's cool.
Because then you get the magic moments that I think there's a little structure, but not much, but just something. Because I think if it's too rigid, then it's more of a interview and more of a question, and it's more one or a couple topics, or it could be you could become defensive, and you got a certain like scenario that you want to play out for the interviewer. So it's I just think this is a much better medium, much more enjoyable.
Yeah, and like making myself feel a bit more like I think it feels true.
Oh yeah. That's
too structure, then I'll be even more intimidated.
Yeah,
I think like this,
but the good thing is you've done one, so then the next time you'll be just this is so easy.
It's
and then the joy of it, we could bring someone else, and then eventually put the projector on.
That's it
somewhere. Then we can go through commentary of the submissions and how they do it, and
that's all your.
So that'll be the next challenge.
Next challenge, next
and
steps.
Commentary, sort of commentary styles. So that will be So that will be the next part, and then obviously next journey, and then myself finally getting further ahead. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Tell me about your what can you say about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Like, can you? We had an awesome chat here talking about like the benefits. What you experienced like that? How's your experience there? Like
my experience was awesome. Actually, it was everything I needed, and the way it was provided, it was very nurturing. You come in. obviously you're going to feel vulnerable, and you're going, okay, so what have I got myself into? Okay, what's this? All these people. And then just look at them rolling and, oh my gosh, they're all just...
I'm next.
Do I have to go that? No, I don't want that pit bull. And then all of a sudden you learn the basics, which is obviously fantastic. How you guys structure it, where you go out, and then you learn the bridging and hip escapes and all of those sort of things. And then all of a sudden you're more comfortable, and then you can apply it. And then you do the training, and then after probably about the second one, I think it was the second lesson I had, was when I think I rolled. And then, I think everyone talked about you might get claustrophobic, just tap. And for me, it wasn't about winning, losing. It was just about learning. So I didn't have any ego. It was just like, okay, I'm going to be rubbish at this. But I might know how to do a choke, but that's all. But, funnily enough, they put me to, it didn't even, no submission. He just put his weight on me, and I felt I couldn't get out. And then I think I was tired at the same time. So I overexerted, and he turned around and then I tapped because I was just uncomfortable. Like and then I just went, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. And then he says, you got to breathe. It'll take time. You'll get it. And then from that, I went, okay, that's not too bad. I understand that. Then the next time it happened, and I was like, no, just breathe. You'll be fine. And then I start trying to fight for positions, but my sort of, I don't know if it's a style, or panic, but I seem to explode. I'm not sure if that's my natural thing, is I'll quickly get out of a position to try and get it to a dominant position, or I use my strength, because I don't know the technique realistically. But then I'm knackered. I've got nothing left. And then I'm like, oh no.
Still 4 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. Oh no, look, 2 minutes 57, I'm out. But as the weeks got on, and then we did a couple of sessions to keep me in line, and then I went back and had a couple of rolls. One with no gi, which I could barely get out of the guard. It just locked me in.
Word, huh?
Just locked it in. I was like, trying all sorts. And I was like, I've got to go back and
where are the lapels? Paulo told me like to get his leave.
No, this is different. But I did do okay. And then one thing I did do, I was in some pretty bad positions, and then somehow I accidentally got the back. And then I applied a choke. But I didn't, the bell went off, but I thought I had it, but I didn't. So we'll have to go back and talk about how did he not tap? But
how was the feeling?
The feeling was amazing, because he had me in all these horrible positions, one after the other, and I managed to escape. And then he must, I don't know, he did something. I quickly jumped on it, and then I was like, oh, I think I had a slight advantage because of my body. It was a bit taller, a bit bigger, but he was much
doesn't
more.
Matter.
He's very good. But I got lucky with that one, and I said, oh my gosh, I just got you back. So, but the next roll then. Someone got my shoulder, so I was like, okay, I was exhausted, but that was good. But I found all of those getting better. Then the best part was, it's not looking at myself as, oh, these guys are better, blah blah blah. It's more like, okay, how am I improving? If I'm fighting myself, and that's pretty much what I feel like when I'm rolling. Like, okay, what could I have done better? And obviously, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that well, realistically. But I mean, I guess that's just incremental changes. Like, okay, so they got me in a triangle here. Okay, 2 in, 2 out. Oh, okay, I was putting 1 in, and okay, and then just little things like that. That helped. But
1% a day. That's
exactly. And just turning up though, the routine. There has to be a certain routine that you have to follow. I think that's probably been the hardest part for me. Just choose specific days and stick to them. And I think have consecutive days, not try maybe Tuesday, then a Thursday or a Monday. Or I can't do Friday, then something comes up Thursday. Then all of a sudden you're only doing one day.
A bit of consistency.
Yeah, and I found that you've ruined that routine that you had. But it's always nice to look at yourself where you are to what you did when you walked in. And that's probably the biggest jump.
Yeah, I think you made yourself a favor, like not being a ego person, you cut half of the problems away. Yeah. Because I think then gets harder to digest. Like, I totally get it. Like, try imagine, like, we had so many times, like, trials, like, guys that walking in, you can see by the stereotype, they are the kind of people that like the toughest one on their crew, or like a normal man. Like I have ego as well. Like, but those type of like big ego, guys walking in, man, and get beat up by this like 13 years old boy, like smoke them up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well,
I totally get it. It's hard to digest, man.
Yeah,
like to get out of, first thing, you got out of your comfort zone. You're a tough guy. You're strong. You jump in a room, and then that kid just like folds in half. And you gave your all. You know that. We're not stupid. As an adult, like, okay, he got me on this first. I'm gonna go harder on the second. Then you go harder, gets even worse. Like he gonna get you again. Takes man like a good courage to accept that. If you're a big guy, if you're like a bit of an ego, to be like, okay, hopefully they all can start see this better. Like, be all right. If that tiny kid can do that with me, I'll better learn how to.
Yeah, exactly.
This jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
not like get intimidated and never come back because it was a bit of a you because you got your ego hurt. I would say, you know what I mean? Like, not physically. It's much more your ego. If you can leave that on the door for a little bit, you're gonna improve a lot. Like jiu-jitsu start happening, you know what I mean? Like and I think our career there we're doing a good job. Like we have a sort of like a ego-free academy, like a good environment. Tough guys, tough roles.
Yeah, certainly.
But we don't need to show on a outside on a stereotype.
Everyone's super friendly. Like even when your birthday, everyone was out having drinks and enjoying chats, and the conversations I had with everybody were fantastic.
That was cool.
And it was such a good afternoon and evening. So they're great people. Like it's just nice. Everyone's quite humble, but humble but competitive. It's like it's like a funny yin yang where they're like, oh yeah, come do this is fine. Yeah, I'm training for this or I'm over here. But then they're more than happy to help, but they'll put it on at the same time.
Yeah, it's fun.
I guess the other thing, learning, going back to what you said when I started, is that stress. If I came in being super cocky and throwing, then they would double it or match it. I'd say probably match it just to put me down. So I found that no matter, obviously I didn't come in with that mentality. And so when you first come in, it's obviously gonna be daunting, but then I went like 50% just to see, because I knew that whatever I did, I was going to get dominated, and I'm there to learn. And it was lovely to see that they would match it. And if they would do something, they would go 100% or whatever. It was easy for them really, but they would at least show you. And I go, so we'll push here, pull there, and this is where you can get me on the ground. And then all of a sudden I start using that technique.
That's good. Yeah. That's the amazing part too. Like you don't rely only on a coach. Like every single person in a room you're gonna get something. Like I train with white belts, man, and I get lessons from them. Like a lot of times, like, whoa, all right, man, you're doing this thing. I really like it. Or a different perspective. I think that's amazing about jiu-jitsu.
True.
We don't have a set number of techniques. That's it. That's the block 1, block 2. You're done with black belt.
Yeah,
it's like constantly changing, and with all those again, internet, all the informations, like we learn from every single person in the room. Like, if otherwise it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
If I imagine okay, I'll go there, I could be complaining, oh, I don't have my black belts teammates back from Brazil, like 20 black belts on the mats to push me.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I have good blue belts, good purple, good browns. Then I believe in my work too. Then okay, give me a time frame. I'm going to make you guys be my training partners.
Yeah.
Like I trust what I'm teaching.
Yeah.
And man, it's happening. Like I'll train you smart. Of course, it's always good to have people above you, pushing you, like punishing you, putting you in spots that you don't want to be. But if you know how to train, you can use the material you have. Like I could be complaining that I don't have good training partners. And I'm like, okay, all my color belts, they are amazing. Like match, same size, I'll take from granted. You know what I mean? I learn from them. I'm running it's funny because like I run a jiu-jitsu academy, but I have so many rules in there, like roles in there. I have to, does that mean and then what I'm struggling, like there's not many time for me to sit and study jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Research stuff.
Yeah. Be the scientist again.
So for me, there's 2 ways that I keep improving and chasing new information. Number one is research and study.
Yeah.
Which is hard to find time on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
I'm still watching like tutorials and things. But for me, it's competition. Be out there. Be on be on top of be on a world class level. Be competing. Know what's going on. Be involved. Like for me, that keeps me up. And then I'll train because usually my younger ones, like teenagers, they have a bit more free time. They don't have as many responsibilities. I would say.
Yeah.
They spend a good time researching stuff, training. That's true. So they're getting better. They doubling their work. So they're getting better way faster.
Yeah.
And man, that's such a cool thing because put me in an uncomfortable situation. Make me catch up and okay, those guys are getting really good. But also make me humble enough now to be like, hey buddy, it's not because you have a belt lower than mine, I cannot ask you for that position. Yeah. I'm humble enough to come to you and tell it, that choke you did, sick. Can you show me? I want to do that. Like I couldn't see what was it. And then you're going to show me a trick.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be like,
no, you're just
black belt that thinks not.
That's a great perspective, really, to keep yourself open instead of saying, "No, you're not there until you're black belt."
No,
I guess everyone's got their way of doing something great, though.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to have something.
So be open mind. Otherwise, you're going to get behind. That's.
And you're making the best of what's around you as well. Like you may not have all those black belt killers in front of you, but then you can make them.
Exactly.
What you've done.
I think that's the idea now. Is time for the new generation. Like my time, I had my time, man.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I'm still competing for few reasons. Number one, I like compete. Like I have that thing in my blood. I wanted to go there. And every time I set a competition, I'm pushing myself harder. If I don't have a challenge or a comp upcoming for a long time, I slip it off. I kind of like let it go my routine a little bit. Don't train as hard. Start training until my comfort zone. Never go beyond that.
Yeah.
Then I want to keep improving. Then I was like, okay, competition. I have to fight. Then okay, now I cannot drink. Now I need to sleep better.
Yeah.
Okay, I cannot miss out my training routine. Like it has to be done. You know what I mean? Because it's too easy to train relying on your mood. You cannot like
that's a good point. The relying on your mood. That's
as an athlete, you cannot do that. If you're gonna train, depends on your mood. You're not doing the right thing. Like as an athlete, like you need to train.
You're past that,
like on your schedule.
Yeah.
If it does it like your train, you need to be down that morning, do that workout. Doesn't matter if you're feeling good or not. Like you need to commit and go. That's what I do good when I have the comp. If I don't have, I don't feel as guilt. If I do have a competition, like I won't miss my thing. I have my morning routine. I'll go paranoid, taking out the box, make sure I go behind my comfort zone, be uncomfortable again. So I think competition
feel alive, isn't it? It makes you feel alive.
There's a massive part on that, to keep me fit, active. Also, as I mentioned, my younger ones start to give motivated and then they keep me giving a hard time. I need to be okay, what do you guys think? I'm getting old, but I still got you. Come on, huh? Hopefully I can still pushing up for another 10 years. But I think that's beauty of jiu-jitsu. You learn from everywhere. You learn from videos, you learn from teammates. Even when you're injured, turn up and come to the gym and watch a class, you might gonna walk away with an answer.
Yeah.
And you were seeking for so long, and then suddenly someone do it in the gym. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what I was thinking the other week. So knowledge is never enough.
And problems. Yeah. A lot of problem solving.
Yep. That's it.
I found that. I think that first week I couldn't get out of. I probably still can't, but I found it quite difficult getting out of the guard with the gi. And then I think I looked at a YouTube clip, and then we did a couple in class, and then a couple with you, and then I sort of tried all of them, and I got better at it. But then obviously the no gi was like, oh my gosh, this is completely different.
Yeah,
exactly. Where do you hold? And then the elbows in, and then and up, and they're like anacondas, just all over you.
Exactly. And then
he wasn't.
No gi is much more. It's a bit more like dynamic. Like
it is. But I thought it'd make it really tight.
Yeah,
I think it'd make everything really tight, really
you have
efficient.
Yeah.
And but I think and sort of workloads as well. Like I noticed, like you could either come every day and do not roll all the time, but you could just roll half the amount, then come the next day half the amount. So you'd end up doing a lot more than just saying turning up one day and then rolling the whole time, and then you spent or something happened, and then you've missed out a time. So I'm starting to think, okay, that I might try that.
Yeah,
is try and turn up 3 consecutive days and then roll as much as I can on each, but then take that one off. Yeah. So then I'm a bit more fresh for the next time.
You it's gonna happen. It's natural. Like you're fit. You're gonna be surprised how consistency is gonna give you like, all right, okay. Now you be surprised. Like you do 3 rolls now.
That's
tired.
That's my max.
Later on, you're gonna be doing 6, 7 without even know. It's like having the same feeling. Good example is one of our students is in Spain now. Went there for his marriage. Yeah, he was a man.
Was he going to live there?
For a while. He's going to be like 4 months, like sort of honeymoon. He got married there. Like his wife is she's Spanish. So I remember him walking the gym.
He's really good.
Really good.
But he's really nice to me as well.
Super cool guy. And then I think he started jiu-jitsu like trying to lose weight. Like that was the biggest goal. Like going, I'm going to get married. Like, August, I need to fucking looking good. Like, the worry. Also, you could see he's like a type of guy, never be involved too much in his sport. Like, be picked in school to be part of a team, to play on a schoolyard or whatever.
Yeah.
He would be the kid going to get picked last.
Yeah.
So, and little by little, he was like getting his confidence, like better, improving, losing weight, like crazy, like dropping weight. I have a habit on Saturdays riding my push bike to the open mat. I was like pushing bike. I was seeing him like running on a beach, like changing his lifestyle.
Yeah.
And sort of end up pushing him to commit to one jiu-jitsu comp. And he lost his comp, but the message after, like he was messaging my phone, best thing I've ever done in my life. You made me feel alive again, like a teenager again, like I was competing, like being involved in a sport. Then, man, that was hooking him even more. And he was training more and more and more. I was mega proud. At the point, one of our Saturdays before he left to Spain, he come to me like thanking us for the work, crying because he was he did 7 rolls, like consecutively.
Yeah.
And in his first class, he couldn't finish the warm-up.
Oh, really?
He didn't manage to even finish the warm-up. That's how buff he was.
That's amazing.
So, for me, man, give me goosebumps because there's no money that pays that. Like a grown man coming to you, crying, and then thanking you for like
changing his life.
But funny because like few things, I'm not good taking compliments. I'm kind of like, nah, man. But reality is, okay, I'm taking the compliment now.
Yeah.
But he did the job, not me.
Yeah. I showed the door.
Pretty much just pointing what to do. And then he was the one committing.
Yeah.
And man, that's a life proof. Like he now tried to he's been like a big flow ambassador, like I would say, like trying to bring people, bring his friends to train. Like, man, you guys are wasting time, jumping this. He's not a massive competitor, but one competition, like, click something in his brain, and he was there having fun, man. Like, I could see, like, making me so happy. That for me, we were talking that before earlier. It's not the jiu-jitsu on a spotlight. Those things, like
changing their lives,
their
lifestyle, and proving it to themselves that like how they adapt.
And then I think as a jiu-jitsu teacher and promoter nowadays, I would say, more than build a champ, or like, I think that's a big ego thing. Like, as a coach, everyone wants to have a world champ under you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a big ego thing.
True,
like,
true, yeah.
That's my man. Like, I made a world champ. But that's a big price to pay for, you know what I mean? Like, competitors, they train hard. They hurt people in the gym. Like, they are important. We need them to promote the club, to compete. I'm a competitor myself.
Yeah.
But I think for me, like, the other side is like, see a kid improving in school, like, don't get bullied anymore. See, like, I gave example of Ian, so good, like, change his life for the good. I think that's the way we need to deliver that information. We need to make people fall in love with jiu-jitsu. That was what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Instead of like just try focus on build champs and have the world championship medals everywhere in your gym. I think make a person who never trained jiu-jitsu walk into the room and fall in love. Like, sell your product. Like, I think now we have a nice and cool community. Gets easier to sell your product.
Yeah, it does for sure. And then you're sort of building a family rather than just students. And then on top of that, you can see that obviously when you're doing the jiu-jitsu part, you've got the yin and yang, the push and pull that's hard, it's difficult, the learning at the same time, but you're doing physical chess. If you do this, then this can happen. If you don't do that, that can happen. If you put your hand there, that's in trouble. Like, there's so many nuances and variables. It's amazing that there's so much to learn. But then when you sit there and try and focus on how to get better at it, then that's where I think you bring it to the outside world, is because you go, okay, that's problem solving. How am I going to address this situation?
Yeah. And
that's where I think it comes from. Okay, well, my fitness is terrible. Okay, I have to get fitter so I don't get tired. Okay, bang. So now I'm running, I'm swimming. So I think that's where it all sort of ties in as well. So then you have that, and then you apply that to the training, and then obviously the people, and then mixing it together. It just makes you feel happy. And then all of you are building a great community together, and you all got different jobs, so you can help each other.
That's it. And I think that's the goal.
But yeah, it's and you want people to join too, because if it makes you feel better, you want someone else to feel better who's going through whatever, or maybe they think, oh, they'd be really good at this actually, and this is such a good feeling. Do you want to try this feeling? So you're almost like selling that, and then you try and bring people in, and then obviously you want to join with them as well and keep going, and so I think that helps. So you're trying to sell it that way, which is you're selling a feeling.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it. Yeah. Never thought about it. Like, that's...
You're sharing you sort of share. Obviously, there's loads of ways you can do it, but you're sort of sharing that philosophy and feeling that makes you happy, so you want someone else to feel that. And these are the reasons why, because you're going through the hardship, you're improving it.
You can see the benefits in yourself.
But then it doesn't stop. Just because you did it right then, it flips out again. And then you got to keep doing it again and again and again and again and again.
Or like...
And it doesn't stop.
It's funny.
You're 23 years deep.
And I go, to heaven and hell every single road. That's it. Like,
it's so true.
You kind of got like, you saw yourself like the example we were talking before. You have the guy like chasing you, like you being dominated the whole row, and then like suddenly one mistake or one wrong grip, you wake. You went from hell to heaven.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's even hard to like, oh, am I in heaven really? And then you don't know what to do. You end up losing the position.
Like, hey, I got to.
Too excited.
This way. I'm pretty sure this is. Come on, what's not right?
Because like,
and then in my head, I was like, I got to speak to Paulo about this. There's something gone wrong.
Save it, yeah. So that's the thing. Like with kids, we need to show them this. Like, and now it's an always learning process. Even teaching, like we're going to mistakes and experiments with kids, try up and downs. Yeah. And now, like I'm telling every single kid, man, don't celebrate too much in here. Like it's hell and heaven every single row. Sometimes, you have like 5 minutes of hell. Like the guy chasing you all the time. Yeah. Last minute, you like reverse the table, got the back. It's the best feeling ever, man. Because
it's true.
Even if you don't tap the person, in your mind, you're like, back to that solving problems. You solve a massive one, man. You're like, I got out of that very inconvenient position. Yes. So like it keeps your mind working good. Like I think it's an amazing job, man. I'm so lucky. Like I cannot thank enough jiu-jitsu. Like really.
But amazing arc. Like to see you came over and went through all that trial and trouble and you persevered, went all in, and then to see you now. And then you're competing and created a great life like, for you, for yourself.
Even like
you've created that success.
Thank you. Yeah. Like even think like in a big scene, I would say man, jiu-jitsu is huge in Australia now. Australia now we have like really, really tough black belts. Next weekend we have the ADCC, which is considered the Olympic Games from grappling. That's Australia have 6 people. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So Australia put 6 fighters there. Yep. And it's not just 6 fighters. They have a chance to make it, like to get the title, to become a world champ. And I see this as I have a bit of collaboration because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys like me, or even Daniel, who opened his first door for me here, guys like us that actually left our country to introduce a new culture, introduce a new sport, see how far, like Australia is considered one of the emerging countries in Jiu-Jitsu. For me, see that make me super proud because I know I have my contribution there. I put something there. Like I was there grinding, competing, spreading the jiu-jitsu, making Australians fall in love for jiu-jitsu. And now be jiu-jitsu, see the jiu-jitsu that big here, like clubs everywhere, growing, competitions every weekend, making me feel like, whoa, like not just me. I would say like all the jiu-jitsu coaches, all the Brazilians that left their own hometowns, living away from family, chasing a dream and like come here, work hard. See that big scene now is like made me like, whoa, cool, man. Like we had a part of that. Like we made history. Like I think I'm seeing like that. So it's sick, good, happy.
It's amazing. Well, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll definitely come back and have another chat and also do some commentary.
For sure.
That'd be pretty cool. And I guess best of luck for next week.
Thank you.
And I'll have to come down to check some of them out and do some videos.
That's it. Let's do it.
That'd be pretty cool. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Just before you go, how can everyone find you? Is the best way. So you got your website, your social media.
Oh yeah. If you want to find us, www.flowmartialarts.com.au. Also through social media like at FlowMA _ or even myself at PH Polimeno. So reach over, send us a message. You can see like the community over there. It's gonna be awesome to see new people walk in the room and become part of the family because that's how we're gonna welcome them. It's just like as a club, but as a big family, we always have a room for one more. That's it.
There's always more. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, man.